The air feels thick with a quiet energy. It's a Sunday, late October, the kind where the light shifts and angles differently than it did just weeks prior. The day holds a quiet introspection, positioned well into the year, a place of transition and reflection after a substantial portion of activity has passed. This isn't a day for sprawling grand gestures, but for the meticulous unwinding of what's already begun. The waning crescent moon emphasizes this need for release, a chance to shed what no longer serves. There's a pressure, almost imperceptible, of accumulated responsibilities, things put aside for later, that demand a gentle reevaluation. The subtle influence of Mercury suggests a mental fog, but not entirely negative. Instead, it's a chance to detach from rigid thought patterns and allow new possibilities to surface. Something you're actively resisting, a piece of change, a new understanding, will whisper its way to your attention. Don't actively search for it, allow it to emerge from the periphery. Venus adds a touch of beauty and grace to these moments of clarity, encouraging you to soften your approach. There's a frustration bubbling beneath the surface, something tied to a past failure, a missed opportunity, but Neptune's influence pushes towards reframing it, seeing the lesson hidden within the disappointment. It's less about dwelling on the loss and more about recognizing the strength gained from navigating it. This could show up as a surprising piece of advice from someone you least expect, or a sudden realization while performing a mundane task. Financially, the day urges caution. There's an impulse to spend, perhaps born from a desire to compensate for something you perceive as lacking. Resist this. Instead, focus on simplification, streamlining. The energy aligns with establishing a sustainable approach, not just in finances, but in all aspects of your life. The combination of Aries and Leo presents a curious paradox, a volatile blend of pure, unrestrained creativity and conversely a potential for messy chaos. The potential for explosive brilliance exists, but it's essential to channel it with intentionality. You might find yourself drawn to a new skill, a musical instrument, a coding language, perhaps a physical discipline like martial arts, and feel drawn to dive in with reckless enthusiasm. However, the urge for rapid mastery is being tested. Consistent practice, small incremental steps, will ultimately be far more fruitful than frantic attempts at instant gratification. This skill you pursue will be surprising, emerging as something entirely unanticipated. Someone close may inadvertently spark a long-held belief or idea to the surface. Allow them to, even if you find yourself defensively, listen intently and find an element of truth. The Neptune influence, operating as the collector, isn't about literal artifacts. It's about the yearning to possess, to absorb experiences and knowledge. On this day, you're being called to examine what you've collected, your habits, your thought patterns, your relationships, and discern what truly nourishes your soul versus what weighs you down. This involves a crucial self-inventory. It could present itself in unexpected forms, a forgotten project resurfacing, a conversation with a distant friend, an old photograph unlocking a flood of memories. Don't shy away from these portals to your past. A major shift is possible. The breakthrough in personal growth isn't going to be sudden illumination, but a slow shift. Something seemingly insignificant that opens up new pathways will become the keystone of a more positive reality for you. Don't force an outcome. Embrace the stillness and allow your intuition to guide your actions. The days that follow, Monday specifically, might feel slightly disorienting, but it is merely the aftereffect of the profound but subtle shift that occurred on this quiet, introspective Sunday. This gentle unraveling and reweaving will prepare you for momentum. Thank you for listening. If you like what I do, please consider to leave a like or even subscribe.